City of Bellevue Cultural Diversity Program is dedicated to educating students about various careers through its Career Day series. Business professionals donate their time to participate in this program, which exposes students to diverse career choices they may not have considered. I run the Cultural Diversity Program for the City of Bellevue. The best way, I think, rather than reading on the internet about a particular career, is to bring somebody who is working in that career to actually talk to you.
I was the animator on Fear 2, Condemned 2, The Matrix Online, and I was lead animator on Iron Man 2, and the Fear Effect franchise for the PlayStation 1 and Sylvester and Tweety. To develop these large projects like games and movies, it takes a lot of people to do that, so you work in a team atmosphere, and you have lots of different disciplines. You'll have screwball artists, and you will have very organized programmers and other people organizing the whole thing, and you have designers who are extremely geeky, coming up with all the stats for the game and everything like that. And you kind of have a melding pot of all these personalities creating this one vision. Developing Iron Man 2. It took approximately 70 people to make it. And that runs the gamut, once again, of programmers, producers who keep the thing on schedule, designers, animators, people building the models that we animate. People building the environments. We had an animation team of 5 people. We had 3 technical animators, a cross between an animator and a programmer. These guys are very smart. They'll build the rigs around the characters so that we can grab the characters and move them around. So this is Iron Man getting stunned by his laser beam. He comes up, he brings his foot up, and the player shoots it, knocks him back.
So that's a lot about personal choices. So if you do decide to do something like this, you better start thinking about what you're doing now with your personal life. All right? Can you apply for a cop if you've been arrested? Yes. Yes. Okay, because sometimes if you got arrested for a shoplift of a pack of cigarettes when you're 11 years old, yeah, you can explain that. All right? What they're going to do is want to listen to case by case. So if you have been arrested, there's chances you can say, this is what happened. Every department's different. So let's say you want to start looking into it. You can go on websites and check FBI, DEA. You can go looking for Washington State Patrol. You can look for Bellevue. And they'll give you the requirements of what you have to do. So what my thing is right there is saying, decide what you want to do now and then stay away from those bad choices. Because they will haunt you, all right? If a bunch of your friends are going to go out and go down to somewhere and buy some drugs, I'm not going. I don't want to take a chance. If you go to a party and there's a bunch of drugs or alcohol, they're saying, I'm not taking a chance. Because you're just going to limit your choices. And that's what I'm trying to say to you. It's your personal choices. I'm not going to be sitting in front of your doorstep 24/7 and trying to say, don't do that. It's going to be choices. So what they want to do is make sure you're a morally straight person. That's what they want to look at. Okay? Make sense?
We do imports from China, and I do designs for this Pearl collection. And I go to China a couple times a year, and we have a partner in there, and I work with them and do designs a couple times a year. Doing a business is a very, especially if you want to do if you want to have your own business. So right now, I think most of you think about what you want to do for you get out of college or high school. I think it really doesn't matter what you do, but you should try. Being an owner, a business owner, is exciting, challenging, and sometimes it can be scaring.
I started Le Conric, which is named after me and my children, and I stayed involved in PBS, which meant documentary producers, kids shows, cooking shows come to me, and I tell other stations about them, and they kind of see me as a marketer. That's one part of my job. And then Sunny Wonder Media, which produces video. So I go in really close on these shots, as well as staying wide, so you can see more of the action. It draws people along. Plus, I do the music track, the editing, and I can do effects if there's any problems with the video. So then, as you get into video production, you have to learn how this person should be talking to you. If they're talking straight to you, they're a host, so it kind of brings people through the flow. It's a lot like art, how you structure your project in an art piece. Video is a lot like that. Amazing experience. I'm so glad you guys know about it. So this is the week. They asked me to produce this for them, and I've been involved with that for a really long time. It's really meaningful. People choose careers in medicine because of this experience, being a physical therapy, nursing, because of being involved in this camp.
I want to share with you how I got started in my work, which is teaching English to both immigrants and international visitors. I was going to teach language arts in high school. Well, when I graduated, I was only 4 years older than my students. I wasn't very secure about that. I was not feeling very confident. So I did not go back into teaching immediately. And I taught English to the immigrants there. And people brought their babies, and the oldest person there was 76. And so I never know who shows up. I never know how many people show up. One day it could be 20, another day it could be 40. But I found I really enjoyed it. And I talked to my mother, and I told her how much I enjoyed the experience. She said, you know, why don't you find out what it takes to do this as your career if you don't want to teach language arts in high school? And so I came back to Seattle, and I called the colleges, and I said, what does it take to become an ESL teacher in a college? And they told me at that time, they said, you need a master's degree. So I went back for my master's degree. As it turns out, a lot of people now are entering the ESL field without a master's degree. But anyway, that's how I got started in ESL, in teaching ESL.
Two businesses. Career Solutions Plus was the first business that I created. And that really came about because people needed help with writing resumes. I'm sure you touched on that subject in school at some point, and I've worked with a lot of teens that need help with writing resumes. But adults need help too, because actually writing a really good resume for a job today takes a lot of skill. You have to be very focused and share your strengths and your skills and why you are good for the job. Second business, Prepare for Work Now, is actually brand new. And this is where I have created online ESL instructional videos and e-guides. So now if a person can't come to a class, or maybe they can't afford to hire a coach, they can go right online and they can access videos. It's like stepping inside my classroom.
As a city attorney, we have two divisions. We have a criminal division and a civil division. I work for the civil division. I have the distinction of being the only attorney in the office who has worked for both divisions. I've been at the city attorney's office for 20 years. The work that I currently do is to problem solve for the city. The city has an issue. They need research. I research that issue. I give my legal advice to them. My job includes the transportation department. It also includes the information technology department. You heard a lot about contracts. I do a lot of contracts for software, purchasing software, as well as the city has a side business, so to speak, in which we provide services to other governmental entities. And I draft those types of contracts for the city of Bellevue, and I negotiate those contracts with other cities who take on our services. The other division is the criminal division. Criminal division being prosecution. The city has what's called a misdemeanor court. What misdemeanor means is it's not murder, it's not, it's basically any crime that is punishable by a year or less in jail. It's a variety of things, and one size doesn't fit all. There's all sorts of lawyers in the world, and you know, if you go to law school, you decide you don't like one thing, there's nothing to stop you from switching over. I did criminal prosecution for 10 years, and at that point in time, after 10 years, I got tired of being the actor, everyone looking at me all the time, everybody saying, he adjusted his tie, does that mean something? So I got tired of that, and I moved into what I do now, and I enjoy what I do now. So you can switch. There's nothing to, and you don't ever have to be a lawyer if you go to law school. You can use your skills and abilities in business or any other things.